What is up, Raiders, Gators, and Crossfader day traders? It's your Octadad. And just before we start the video, of course, we got to come back to this horrifying point of view to indulge me in another wonderful, perfect, completely essential edition of Octadad's Octababy of the week. And today we're taking a little bit of a different tone. I've been asking for meme comments since my second video, and finally I got one. And so I want to just talk about it and have fun. This is from my boy, Owen Kitto. And now forgive me while I try to make my way through this. Owen has sort of a religious hatred towards periods. So it's a little confusing where one thought ends and another begins. But my archival researchers have been poring over it day after day, and they've deciphered the meaning of this ancient text. So let's read it. This is far too annoying. Very American. Humor is good, but trying to be funny every 1 second is like having my teeth removed without an anesthetic. Now, I don't read this comment to get defensive or to invite vitriol to my child Owen. I think it's the parent's job to not stoop to the level of their child. I appreciate, Owen, that you voiced your discontent with the tone that I strike on this channel. That said, however, there were a couple things that you said that struck me as interesting and worthy of discussion. For one, how are you gonna shame me being very American? You cut me an eye, bleed stars and stripes. I salute the flag. I support the troops. I support moms of the troops. And you're gonna say I'm very American like it's a bad thing? Sounds like a load of communist propaganda to me, brother. And that is something I cannot countenance in my home and from my children. So I take issue with that, sir. You brought a different notion to the marketplace of ideas, and I'm throwing it back at you. This is my rebuttal. I expect a hearty debate back. The second point. Now, I know that you're being hyperbolic to make a point here, but in this scenario where you are having your teeth pulled without anesthetic, maybe you should go to a different dentist, Owen. I understand that dental care isn't covered by most healthcare plans because healthcare is a disaster in the United States, and even in other places, dental care just really isn't covered, and it's incredibly fucked up. The teeth are in my head. They're a part of me, so like, why if I break my arm, it would be covered, but if I break my teeth, it's like,
oh no, that's a different thing, dude. Those are growing out of your inside mouth. I don't like that part. It's stinky and gross and yucky. You're gonna have to get those bones taken care of under a different plan.
I don't know. It's weird. So like, if you're watching me, I don't expect you to find me funny all the time. I think I'm funny. My wife thinks I'm funny, and my kids think I'm funny. And so if you don't like it, it's kind of a cliche, but like, you don't have to watch. I worry about you sitting there like,
this sucks. It's not funny. He's doing it too much. He's being funny too much, and it hurts my jaw.
Watch a Rhett and Link video, man. Or like, click on a Red Means Recording video. He's actually funny and talented. I don't know why people watch me either. It's probably because I'm very American. So Owen, I wish you no ill will, no vitriol to my boy, to my beautiful baby child Owen. I'm glad we were able to have this conversation between Octadad and his Octason. I hope you'll stick around and that the jokes don't hurt too much, but they will keep coming. I cannot compromise on that. I'm sorry, I do have a 20 joke per video minimum quota I have to meet, and if it feels like you're getting your teeth pulled, maybe they were cavities all along. I don't know. This is a weird analogy. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video where I'm gonna make bad sounds for 30 minutes. I don't think I can keep stealing pay money wubbies cool thing, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah! What's up, memers, streamers, and golden gleamers? Today, we're doing something a little different. If you notice, there is not a crossfader on this device. It is not a long boy. Rather, it is a stout boy. Not an elf, but a dwarf. Today, we're going to do some sound design on the Digitone. Now, I have to warn you, I don't know how to do sound design. I'm not a sound designer. That might be surprising to hear, that I'm not Richard Devine, but it's the truth. So this is going to be probably my boldest, brashest, and most anti-fascist video yet. And just as a little preview of what's to come, here's the sounds that we'll end up with today. So I think what we're going to do is just twiddle some knobs, because the Elektron Digitone is great for that. You don't really have to know what you're doing. It makes FM synthesis very simple. I could spend some time explaining to you what FM synthesis is. I'm not going to do it. I wouldn't be able to if I tried. There are plenty of good videos. I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put one here that explains what FM synthesis is, and if you need to know, it's fine. What I know is that it's some sine waves, and they sound good. So that's it. But the good thing about the Digitone, as I said, is that it makes FM synthesis really musical really easily, which is great for idiots like me. I have often found that using the Digitone is sort of like being married to someone way hotter than you. Not that I know anything about that. It doesn't matter that you're a slouchy fat boy who's balding. It doesn't matter that you're a slouchy balding fat boy. This gal, put her on your arm. Oh, baby. Yeah, the talk of the town. So let's just get right into it, because I take too long to do literally anything. So where do I start most of the time when I think about designing a sound on the Digitone? 9 times out of 10, I come into Synth 1 here, and I start twisting this little harmonics knob. What is it doing? Who cares? You turn it. Wow, I agree with the sound. Wow. And you have a different sound already. So I twist that a little bit. Let's see if we can find a nice sweet spot. That's kind of nice. Now this fading between X and Y, it has something to do with the algorithm here, the different operators and how they interact. So let's see if we change the ratio of B here and then fade over. You can see how it changes. You can get some nice overtones like that. I think I like it right there. So my loose plan is to make 4 sounds. Hopefully I can do it in a timely fashion. And then make a quick little pattern using all 4 of the sounds to just show you practically what to do once you've made these sounds. So they're not going to be Dick Divine amazing. They're not going to be deep sounds. They're just going to be usable sounds, which I think, for my purposes anyway, is a lot more better than weird squelchy nonsense that, for me personally, speaking as the Octadad here, will never end up in my tracks. Just not me. So these are going to be sounds that I would use. How educational it'll be for you on how to make the sounds you want to make, that's going to be less clear. But I hope that watching me fuck around with these knobs will at least be a little entertaining. Anyway, the next thing I do a lot of the time is turn up this feedback control here. So now let's go back to Synth 1 and turn down that feedback quite a bit. Come over here. This is definitely sounding like a pad to me. So let's raise that attack time a little bit. And raise the release time so we get a little bit of that. A little bit of that washiness. And then, of course, I know some people like to wait to do this, but I'm going to turn up my reverb so I can feel like a real star of the lid. So right away from there, in my opinion, we have a sound that, for me anyway, is much more interesting than I would get after tinkering with subtractive synthesis for a long time. Is it predictable? No, not at all. Maybe it's predictable if you know what you're doing. I don't. But it's fun, and it's interesting, and it always surprises me. And that's kind of my favorite thing about gear, is if it can surprise you. And the Digitone is very surprising. So let's keep going. Periodically, I keep fading back between X and Y just to hear how things change. What happens if I change this? Let's turn this up just a lot. I don't know. Ooh, I like that. It's very soft. And I like the feedback because it adds almost kind of like a lo-fi feel to it. And y'all know how I feel about the lo-fi effect. So let's... So there we go. I mean, like, that's a nice pad, right? And I've spent less than 10 minutes screwing with it, probably close to 3 minutes of actually just twisting knobs. And like I said, it's not amazing. It's not the best sound. It's not going to be an Omnisphere preset or anything like that. But the fact that you can get something that nice, that quickly, is, for me, who is a sound design moron, really appealing. So we have some LFOs. What can we send the LFO to? Let's take a gander here. I like to do harmonics for pads. So let's click on, whoops, nope, elektron encoders. You make me want to throw myself off of a cliff. And we have some different waves here. I'm just gonna stick with a standard triangle wave or saw wave or whatever. I never know the difference. And I'm gonna put the speed very slow. And let's see. And that's nice, it's subtle. We don't need any big movements here. We want kind of low and slow. On that note, let's see, maybe a little bit of detuning. Let's do that with the sine wave. Let's slow it down a little bit. I'm gonna turn the depth up way too much, and then we'll dial it back and see if we can get something interesting from there. That's nice, I think. So that's a sound. There's a sound. To go over what we did, we just turned up the synth levels just a little bit. We turned up the feedback quite a bit, messed with some of the ratios there, messed with the harmonics, put an LFO on the harmonics and the detuning. I'm not entirely sure what the detuning is even doing, or if it's having any effect. I will love in the comments if someone's like, you have to do something else for that detuning thing to actually take effect, but it's cool that you think it's doing something. And if I think it's doing something, well, that's all that matters. So yeah, this is our first little sound. I love that kind of buzz there. Something we could do before we move on, because I do want to try to keep this kind of brisk, is mess with the envelopes here a little bit, because these are pretty neat. You can affect how the different synth engines, I guess, I don't know what you'd refer to them as, come into play. So rather than having them both just start right away, we can have one of them fade in slowly. So let's listen to how that sounds with this change. Let's try maybe doing the opposite. Yeah, and it just adds a little extra something there. I don't really know if this needs a filter. We could. Let's try it real quick just to see. I know we're gonna want... Sure, sounds nice. Okay, so that's sound one. Nice little pad. Sound two. I think I want to do something kind of leady here. Something that ends up happening a lot when I do leads on the Digitone is that they come out sounding kind of 8-bit, which is neat. It's a sound that I enjoy quite a bit. So let's see if we can make that happen. So the first thing, I'm just going to start right away with... See, now we're already there. And then what we can do, maybe let's, whoops. Now let's turn up the harmonics. Let's turn up some reverb here and some delay. Let's change the time there. Okay, so now that we got that going for us, let's try changing the algorithm here. Ooh. This might not have been what we were thinking we were going for, but that has kind of a nice plucky sound to it. Ooh, I like that. That's a really ugly face I just made. I like that. Jesus Christ. I think the face cam was a mistake, maybe. So let's let the sound lead us a little bit. See, that's what I mean. I'm surprised a little bit. I didn't know what was going to happen, and it's taken me to a different direction. So something we could do, going off that, is if you notice, when I fade between, if I go all the way to X, very restrained and plucky, but if I fade over to Y, much more 8-bit, much more kind of the thing I was going for. Let's make like Hannah Montana and have the best of both worlds here. Let's go to the LFO and let's just fade between them. Let's go to mix and let's do a sine wave. And let's see if we start, yeah, all the way at X. Let's hear. And we get kind of an evolving, almost generative thing just from fading between it. It sounds like, I guess like you're opening and closing a filter a little bit, but there's a little bit more to it. Let's maybe see how we can affect the sound by changing the synth level. So let's maybe change the ratio of some of these things. So C is the bottom operator, and I know that that gets affected the most. So let's turn this up. Ooh. Let's go down an octave. Let's try changing the B ratio. See, this is what I mean when it's surprising I don't fucking... Doesn't sound very good, does it? Let's try A. Ooh. Now we got kind of like a xylophone feel going on. I kind of fuck with it. Okay, so that's pretty neat. I think I want to make this... I want to lean into this. Something I'm going to do is filter out that delay a little bit so it's not so in our face. Might need to do this the other way. Let's maybe put some resonance in this. Nope, I hate that. Here's an unpopular opinion. I hate resonance. I don't like the squelchy squeaks in my own music. I love it in the stylings of Richard D. James and many other acid artists of that type, but every time I use it, it sounds like poop. So I don't do it very much. Slaughter me in the comments, and feel free to tell me why I should use resonance more, or how I can use it in ways that don't immediately make it sound like I'm trying to emulate a 303. And hopefully I can learn, because I do love to learn. Okay, I want a little bit more something there. I'm going to turn the feedback a bit more. And then I'm going to turn the depth up a lot here. Oh no. We might need to check what's going on over here. Something dark is happening over here, and I'm not sure I understand what. Huh. Oh, I think I know what, maybe. Might just be that I have too much feedback going on. Okay, let's filter that then. Okay, and then let's bring this back over. I think I might just want to lean in totally to the plucky kind of xylophone feel. So let's maybe not go that far. here's what we can do to make this a little more better, is we can make this trigger. So we're going to make the LFO trigger every single time that I click the key. And then maybe instead of a sine wave, we can do a random. Sure. Maybe that's something we could automate. Also, is the decay of the filter. Decay time. Yeah. Let's do not an insane multiplier. Okay, so without getting too deep into it, I'm just going to stop there for that. Cool. So we have this pad sound. That nice kind of juicy modulation. And then we have this nice kind of mallet sound. I don't know. I got to stop making that face. It's truly terrifying. So, track 3. What do we want to do on this one? I think on this one, I want to get real weird with it. Just some weird kind of textural stuff that we can have in the background. So let's try blindly to do that. So let's go into synth 1 here. Actually, let's just turn shit up. Whoo! I'm going to change the operator. Maybe what we could do is like a really quick arpeggio. Let's go to the art menu and change the speed to something ridiculous. That's too fast. Too fast. Sounds really bad. Let's do it into a bunch of reverb. Let's add some delay too. Why the fuck not? Not a ton. And now let's grab this. Let's maybe not do that one. Wife alert. Let's try maybe not that. Let's try ratio. Hell yeah. That also sounds terrible. Oh, I know why. Because the fucking multiplier is absolutely bonkers insane. Let's try some of those other ones then. Let's try algorithm again. Try random. Or maybe ramp. I think I'm off this arpeggio idea. Let's just make it kind of a long thing that we can... and then let's have it trigger. That's kind of nice. Kind of stringy, huh? Kind of sounds like, yeah, like Car Plus Strong-esque. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, literally, it reminds me of String on the OP1. So don't buy an OP1, just buy a Digitone, man. Seriously, don't buy an OP1, buy a Digitone. They're better. Cancel me in the comments for that. So that's kind of neat already. I think maybe what I'll do is maybe turn this one up. Turn this down. I like that. That's interesting. This is exactly what I mean when I say I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. A smart person using this device would do some really sick shit. Much like in my beat from scratch video, someone who knows how to make good music would make a great beat with that Wolfpack sample. But me, I don't know how to make good stuff, just how to make these videos. And even they're not super great. But even a broken clock is right twice a day. Even an ugly fuck like me can get married to a beautiful woman. And even a dummy like me can make kind of interesting, nice sounds here. So let's see how much more interesting we can make this just using one note. Because I do worry... let me turn up the sustain here. What other interesting thing? Let's try fucking with the ratio of A. I don't know. Let's not have it be an insane multiplier. I think whoever I bought this from secondhand just really liked audio rate stuff. I don't know. Yeah, bad sound design with your Octadad. Getting real fucked up in my pad. Sounds really bad. Let's try bringing back the depth. I don't know. Let's try doing... Ooh. There's some, might be some there. Let's filter it a bit more. And then maybe slow it down. Let's try having it also be trig. Maybe fade it in this way. Huh. I don't know what to think about that. I think it's interesting. We're going to leave it there for right now. We'll leave it like that. And I want to record some super basic shit into tracks 1 and 2 because I think that's going to inform where we take 3 and then definitely 4. So let's just record some super simple shit. I'm going to do it on easy mode. I'm going to come into the note menu here. I'm going to put it to, let's try Lydian. I don't know. Yeah, okay. So let's go to our tempo here, which is somewhere. Let's turn it down to something real low and slow, like 65 or something. So let's go over to track 2 then. Track 2, Electric Boogaloo. So let's listen. Sure, kind of like that. Okay, so now we have some context for what we're actually doing here. So now that we have that, let's see if we can find something for that. I don't know. If we turn it, let's filter this the other way, actually. I think that might be better for us. Let's filter it this way, because that low end is giving me some trouble, I think. Oh my Christ, elektron encoders, please. So let's try that. Let's try it without the ratio. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Something that I think this desperately needs is some drums behind it. Now, I have quite literally never tried to make drums on the Digitone. What I think I would rather do than try to make it from scratch and just waste a bunch of our time is show you that there's value in loading up a preset and then tweaking that creatively to make it something that you want. So for the sake of brevity and for everyone's sanity, and not an hour of me twisting knobs hoping I stumble my way into a kick drum, let's load up a kick. That's great. And then now we can start tweaking it a little bit. And also we can learn how a sound is made by looking at what's done. So it looks like the ratios are all at very weird values. We have very quick attack decay stages there. High pass filter probably for some extra extra thump in the bass with that resonance there, which is a cool trick you can do. That's actually one use for resonance. If you have a sound that you want to give some more low end to, and you don't really mind about not getting to filter out the high end, you can chuck a high pass filter on it, drag the frequency back a bit, crank the resonance way up, and it's like a peak, right? You're peaking that low end thump. So something that I want to do is give it some drive. Just a little bit of crunch. See, maybe some more feedback. Something I'm doing here is making the pitch envelope a little less, because I don't think that really fits the sound we're going with here. Let's make the amp decay a little shorter. Yeah. Let's try turning up some of the level knobs. There we go. Now you got kind of a little more low-key sound. So yeah, that's a way that you can just quickly take a sound that you maybe don't want to make from scratch, but you can still make it your own by tweaking the parameters intelligently. I know we haven't done very much intelligent things around here, but you can tweak parameters intelligently to get closer to a sound you're looking for from a preset. And I know this isn't like earth-shattering information or anything, but it's something worth keeping in mind because I think people get into their heads a little bit about wanting to design every single sound from scratch, where it's like, I mean, sure, you can definitely spend 6 hours working on one pad sound, or you could take a preset that already has somewhere in the neighborhood of what you're trying to do, and then tweak that intelligently using parameters you understand and know to get closer to exactly what you want. I'm not saying you should do that every single time, because it is a little creatively stifling and leads to you just sort of surfing through presets looking for the right thing. But if you know, I want a kick drum, just start with a kick drum preset and just move from there. You know, I don't know. That's my advice anyway. You can feel free to take it or leave it. No one's making you take my advice anyway. You're not my children. You don't have to listen to me. I would like it if you did, though. So let's put down kind of a simple drum thing. I don't know. So let's just do, I don't know, maybe 4 on the floor. Yeah, that's nice. Something that we can do here, you might be thinking to yourself, I want a snare, and we don't have any more room for snares. You've used all 4 tracks. Elektron's got you covered with sound blocks. Now, I had to do a little Googling to remember because it's been a while, but the way that you do that is by going to Import, Export, Manage Sounds, and then when you have a sound selected, move over and copy it to your sound pool. And once you have it copied to your sound pool, you can lock it from any point by turning the little data knob here. So what I'm going to do is maybe come up with a different kick pattern here so we can have kind of alternating kicks and snares, because we can't have them happening at the same time. So let's maybe try turning these into snares here. Let's listen. Okay, sure, a little boring. Let's add some additional kicks maybe on 4 and 12. I like that, maybe 9 and 11.
What exactly happened on 9/11?
The truth is out there. Yeah. So now let's copy this page and we'll paste it across here. And then we can get kind of creative. So let's go boom, boom, pa, boom, boom, pa, boom, pa, boom, 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 pa. So let's try, let's try that. Yeah. Look, this isn't, I'm not kidding anybody here. These are not crazy amazing sounds, but they're very usable, and you could definitely see how if you're not just trying to make a relatively concise YouTube video, you could spend a lot more time refining these sounds. They're certainly not done, right? This is a jumping off point, as we said at the beginning. I want to kind of show people by example that you don't have to be smart to make great sounds or even good sounds. You don't even really have to be knowledgeable in sound design, especially with FM synthesis, on the Digitone, I mean, to get really nice sounds. It's my favorite thing about this box is that it's so instantly musical. You just turn a couple knobs and you're home free. So yeah, I think that's about it. Let me know down in the comments your favorite tricks for the Digitone, because I am always amazed by the sounds that people are able to make with this thing, and I want some more tools in my tool belt, as it were. But yeah, that's going to do it for me, I think. Editing Octadad's going to come in here and thank my patrons, and maybe ask for suggestions for a new video, and probably talk for way too long. But yeah, I hope this was to the point and maybe helpful, and just even a little bit illuminating on some of the cryptic nature of these devices. Yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments. And here's Editing Octadad. Hey, Editing Octadad here. Just got done making the thumbnail for the video and listening to My Chemical Romance's The Black Parade for the first time in my adult life. So if I sound a little teary-eyed, it has nothing to do with that. Thank you for watching this video. It's kind of something different. Hope it does better than the last kind of different thing I tried. But if it doesn't, hey, none of this matters anyway. I want to thank my beautiful, awesome, super perfect, delightful patrons. In no particular order, I want to thank Toby, Connor, Johan, Patrick, Nils, Ian, Matthew, Vasily, Null Style, Ghost Boner, Andrew, and of course, the best part of my day, the best part of your day, the best part of all history of the world is getting to acknowledge my mom. Thank you, Mom. Everybody drop a thank you, Mom, in the comments for me. Not really sure where I'm going next, video-wise. I have a couple ideas. Maybe a video on resampling, which is something I've been experimenting with. I might do some videos on other gear, like the ER301, or just granular synthesis in general. I don't really know. Let me know the kind of thing you would like to see in the comments down below. And also like and subscribe and ding that notification bell so you don't miss a video from me. Your Octadad. Thank you for doing the YouTube thing with me. I love you all like your branches on an infinite tree, giving me oxygen. You help me breathe. I love you very much. Stay safe, stay sane, stay sexy. All right, I'm Daniel. This is the Messy Desk. I will see you guys around. Take care.